Om Sai Ram. For the past 20 years, I have been taking any devotee that is willing to go with me on a route to show them the 5 Bhiksha houses and also to the other places that Baba visited in his physical body. Usually, Baba did not leave Shirdi. However, he did go to Kushal Chand's house and to Nana Sahib Dingle's house and to the Hanuman Mandir in Rui. So, in this series, we will cover these places. We will first talk about the 5 blessed houses that he took Bhiksha from and the route that he took. When Baba went for Bhiksha, he would come out of the Dwarkamai, pass by the Chowdi and the little garden next to it, and right in front of him and to the left was Sakaram Shilke's house. Sakaram was a very affluent man. In fact, all the Bhiksha houses, the people were really affluent. He was a landowner, and his son Triambak, he donated the area which is now the bus stop, Shirdi bus stop, and also the super hospital, which is next to Khandoba Mandir. This was one good deed that he did. They worshipped Lord Narsimha, and they built adjacent to their home, they built the temple of Lord Narsimha where Aarti and Bhog is done. In that compound, there are 3 samadhis. The first samadhi is of Triambak, next to it is his wife Thanabai, and next to it is Ramgir Bua. Mention is made of Ramgir Bua in the Jamner miracle in the Charitra. Baba gives a copy of the Aarti and Udi to Ramgir Bua and asks him to go to Jamner and give it to Nana Sahib. At that time, his daughter Menatai was going through a very difficult delivery. And he does so. After singing the Aarti for her and giving the Udi, she had a very painless delivery. The descendants of Sakaram still live in Shirdi and they are doing very well for themselves. In front of and to Baba's right is Vaman Rao Gondkar's house. This house is right next to Abdul Baba's cottage. Vaman Rao again was a very affluent farmer and he owned about 500 acres of land in and around Shirdi. The area that is the Lendibag, that belonged to him and he sold it to Moreshwar Pradhan. If you enter Lendibag through the east side, the northeast entrance, there is an arched board which says Moreshwar Pradhan Cha Lendibag. Moreshwar Pradhan bought the Lendibag and gifted it to Baba because he knew how much Baba loved going to Lendibag. Baba would go to Lendibag at 8 o'clock in the morning and then again at about 3 o'clock. In the Charitra, the story is mentioned when Baba asks Venki Shimpi Kamblekar to bring a ladder and place it against his home. Then Baba climbs up that ladder and crosses over Radha Krishna Mai's house. At that time, Radha Krishna Mai was very seriously ill. And this was Baba's remedy for her. He crosses the house and gets down from the other side and Radha Krishna Mai recovers. Then he gives Venki Shimpi Kamblekar 2 rupees. The rest of the devotees said, Baba, you've given him so much of money just for bringing the ladder. And Shama takes Baba to task. So at that time, Baba says, when somebody does a service for you, you should pay them adequately. The other reason that Baba gave him 2 rupees, Venki did not have any children. And after receiving the 2 rupees, he got 2 sons. So that may be the reason why Baba gave him 2 rupees. The Sansthan has bestowed the honor on the descendants of Vaman Rao Gondkar. They are given the honor of doing the first Aarti to the Palki and the Rath that goes through the village on the main festivals like Ram Navami, Guru Purnima and Dasara. Then Baba would go down further, and to his right hand side is Narsim Lodge. This lodge was first the home of Ramchandra Dada Patil. Then he fell into great financial difficulties and he sold it to Sakaram Shilke. In the wall of this lodge, there was a stone. About the stone, at that time, Shirdi was a very undulating place, and there was about a slab of stone which was about 3 feet. Baba would stand, whenever he took Bhiksha, he would stand on that stone and feed the cats, dogs, birds, crows from his Bhiksha. He also, from his thumbnail, he would pour the milk or buttermilk, whatever he received, the liquids, into the cup in front of the padukas. On this stone, somebody has etched padukas. The exact date that this was done is not known. I read in an old Sai Sudha magazine about this stone. When the widening of the Palki road, that is coming from the Chowdi and making a turn going to Malsapati's house, that was widened. The front of this Narsim Lodge was broken. And the descendants of the Shilke family handed the padukas to us because they said, you found it, so you can have it. When I had read in the Sai Sudha magazine, it said that there were 2 padukas in the village of Shirdi. One paduka is near Pilaji Balaji Guru's house, where Baba stood in the Tribang position, going and coming back from Lendibag. That photograph was taken there. So they venerated the place with the padukas. And the second paduka was this, which whenever he took Bhiksha, he stood on that stone and fed the thing. Here, Baba does Bhoot Yagya for us. That is, he feeds the creatures that are unable to speak, and he feeds them. He also feeds crows or birds that would come to take from his Bhiksha. So he is doing Pitru Yag for us, because every day we are supposed to feed the cow, the crow, the dog, and the ant, which we don't do after a while. If he goes further, on his left-hand side, in front of him is Sai Kutir. This belonged to Bayaji Appakote. Bayaji Appakote again was a farmer. He was also the revenue officer of Birgaon. He was devoted to Baba, and he started doing service for Baba from the age of about 11. And Baba loved him very much. He would make Bayaji, Tatya and Ramchandra Dada Patil eat from the same place, so that the bond of friendship between the 3 was very, very strong. When Baba, in the Charitra, when Baba took Samadhi, he had asked the devotees to go home and have their meals. Most of the devotees left. However, Bayaji Appakote was sitting right next to Baba. He did not leave. And Nimonkar was on the step below. Nimonkar realized that Baba had stopped breathing. So he took a little water and he poured it into Baba's mouth. And the water came out. And Bayaji cupped his hand trying to get the water. Then Baba leaned against him and said, "Take me to Dagdiwada, which is now Samadhi Mandir," and leaned against him, and his pran left. And then he came to lay in his lap. The Sansthan has given the descendants of this family the honor of carrying the Paduka Satka for any Palki procession. Whenever the Palki procession occurs, his descendants will carry the Paduka Satka. Also in the Chowdi procession, when they go into the Chowdi, into the male side of the Chowdi, their descendants will carry the Paduka Satka. Now, it's not quite adjacent to his home, but in those days it was adjacent to Bayaji Appakote was Baijama's house. This is a very old house and it's a really beautiful house. If you look at the number assigned to this home by the Nagar Palika or the municipal corporation, it is 164. And that of the Dwarka Mai is 778. So you can imagine how old this house is. It is about 200 years old. And the woodwork or the frame to which the door is attached has beautifully carved peacocks and flowers on it. And even though it has been exposed to the elements for so many years, the wood has not rotted. The door is thick and made of a single piece of wood, and it has brass studs on it. Baijama came to Shirdi after she married Ganpat Kote, who was very affluent and he was a landowner. She was a very dutiful wife, and she did all the chores of the home, like they had horses, they had cattle, they had farmland. She did all the work in the house. But the best thing that she loved was to feed all the guests that came there. She loved to cook and feed the people that came to her house. She knew Anna is Brahma, so she respected it, and with great love, she fed all the guests that came to her house. She and her husband were the first villagers who recognized Baba's divinity. And Baijama took it upon herself to feed this young fakir who was sitting there without going to anybody's door and asking for food or anything. She would walk through trample the thorns and go into the woods and the forest and search for this young fakir. And she would find him and then sit in front of him and wait hours on end for him to come down from his samadhi state to normalcy. And then she would feed him most probably like Yashoda fed Krishna. She would feed him, and till he was fed, she would not come back and have her food. So she really went through the forest. Sometimes he was in this part of the forest and sometimes somewhere else. She was not satisfied till she fed him. And Baba also said she was my sister in previous lives. And her son, Tatya, called Baba Mama. When Baba came to stay in the Dwarka Mai, the lady's troubles came to an end. So she would, whenever she heard Baba coming, calling out for Bhiksha, she would leave whatever she was doing and go run and prepare fresh bhakri and vegetables and happily give it to Baba. If suppose Baba went away, then she would finish the work that she was doing and then again prepare fresh food and take it to the Dwarka Mai and feed Baba there. The honor of carrying Baba's portrait or photograph during the Chowdi procession is given to the descendants of Tatya's family. When there is a Chowdi procession, the photograph from the Chowdi is taken to the Samadhi Mandir. The descendants of Baijama and of Bayaji Appakote go prior to the Chowdi procession, say about 8:45. First, they used to ascend the steps of the Samadhi, and the Pujari would hand them the Paduka Satka and Baba's photograph. However, that was stopped a few years ago. So they go there and they take Baba's photograph and the Paduka Satka and bring it to the waiting Chowdi. Until Tatya's descendants signals to the bearers of the palki to pick it up, they cannot pick it up. The reason for this being possibly that whenever Baba had to go from the south-facing Chowdi to Dwarka Mai in the morning, he would not go until Tatya came and said, "Chal Mama." And then he put his hand under his armpit and brought Baba to the thing. So the honor of this is given to their descendants. Also, when they go into the Chowdi, when the Aarti Sai Baba Saukyadata Jiva happens, Baba was given the chilim. So when they do the arti when they sing the arti in the Chowdi procession, the Tatya's descendants light a chilim and offer it to the photograph even today. It is a beautiful thing to see. After taking Bhiksha from Baijama's house, Baba would go around and pass Tajim Khan's Dargah. Tajim Khan's Dargah is very close to Malsapati's house. After passing Tajim Khan, he came to Nandaram Marwadi's house. The last house that Baba took Bhiksha from was Nandaram Marwadi. His name was Nandaram Sanklecha, but Baba called him Marwadi, and so everybody called him Nandaram Marwadi. Mention is made of his name in the Charitra in the chapter of Brahma Gyan, where Baba sends a little boy to go and get 5 rupees from his house. Nandaram was very affluent, and the family, his ancestors had migrated from Rajasthan, and they made Shirdi their home. Nandaram's wife Radhabai had a pronounced lisp, and Baba, whenever he took Bhiksha, would call out, "Oye, Bopadi Bai, give me Bhiksha, Bopadi Bai, Bhiksha de." And if she was late in coming, Baba would shower her with abuses. Radhabai, however, was not upset with this because she knew when Baba shouted at her or gave her abusive language, it was a blessing in disguise. She did not have any children, and Nandaram's mother asked Baba to bless her, and then Baba gave her 3 mangoes. So again, like in Damu Anna's story, she got 3 sons, and their shops are the Dwarkamai store, Dwarkamai Emporium, and so on. Nandaram was devoted to Baba from the age of 7. He was really very close to Baba, and he visited Baba off and on and asked him for many things. Once an epidemic of plague broke out in Shirdi, and he decided to leave Shirdi because the other villagers were fleeing Shirdi, and he was frightened that he would get the thing. Then Baba told him, "Are Nandaram, why do you worry? I will not let you die till I die." And Baba took Samadhi before Nandaram passed away. The other thing was that there was a very strange illness in which it was believed that if you ate sugar, you would pass away and become very critically ill and pass away. Baba called Nandaram and said, "Come," because the villagers had told him, "Your eyes are turning red, so you got the disease and you're going to pass away." So he called him and said, "Here, take this Udi." And then he said, "Come on, eat this packet of sugar." And of course, he was cured of it. The deed that Nandaram Marwadi did was he donated the land through Damu Anna, which is after the Nandi from the Samadhi Mandir, to the Mukh Darshan, which is now the Mukh Darshan. That land was donated by him. What he did was he donated the land through Damu Anna, and he did not publish the fact that he donated this land. So, thus the Samadhi Mandir was extended to what is now the Mukh Darshan. Mention is made of this behind the wooden doors of it, and it's written there that the land was donated by Damu Anna, Anna Chinchinikar Trust, and Rao Bahadur Kalvankar. So he did not take the credit of donating the land. So this was one thing that they did. These were the 5 houses that Baba took Bhiksha from. In the Datta tradition, Bhiksha is called Madhukari. Madhukari literally means when the bee flits from one flower to other, picking up honey. In this tradition, they take Bhiksha from 7 houses. However, Baba took Bhiksha from only 5 houses. I often wondered what the meaning of this could be, and I came to the conclusion that when we offer food to Baba, then we say pranaya swaha, panaya swaha, that is, the food is ingested and the digestion starts right from the tongue and then goes and gets digested in the gut, and then it's assimilated and passes through the body so that we get the energy to live a fruitful life so that we can pursue our spiritual goal. Every individual has one goal in life, and that is to reach self-realization in whatever stage of life we are. When we eat sattvic food, then we get the energy to go to the next step. This could be the reason why he took Bhiksha from 5 houses. The other thing that he did was, when he went for Bhiksha, he did Upasavaya, that is anti-clockwise. He would come out of the Dwarkamai and everything would be on his left side. So he did it anti-clockwise. When we do Shraddh, we do everything in an anti-clockwise manner. The Jenu is put in the other side and everything is done that. So he could be doing this for us, for our ancestors, so that we remember to do Shraddh. We do Shraddh for the first few years and then we forget about it and we don't do it. In fact, we are supposed to feed the crow for our ancestors, and the male person in the house has to keep morsels of food for Chitragupt, for Dharmaraj, and for the ancestors at every meal, which we don't do. The other thing is that he fed the dogs and cats, so he did Bhuti Yagya. He went as an Atiti, and the ladies of the house fed him. So he teaches us that anybody that comes to your house, you must give them whatever meal you have. The other thing is that women are saddled with Panchasona, that is the 5 sins that we do when we are cleaning the rice. Some weevils will inadvertently kill some weevils, or when we are grinding things or washing clothes or washing the cloth that we use in the kitchen. So we incur a lot of sins. When an Atiti comes to our house, now Baba, in those days it was easy for the women because Baba went and took Bhiksha, so they gave it to God himself. But in these days, if anyone comes to our house, you treat the person Atiti Deva Bhava. That is, you treat the person, uninvited guest, as God himself, and you give whatever food you've got, seat him comfortably, give him water to drink, and see that he's satiated. When we read about Baba's taking Bhiksha and the Bhiksha routine that he did, he is giving us lessons which we should do every day in our lives. Feed the uninvited guests, feed the dogs, cats, or any creature that cannot speak. Like he told Nana Sahib Chandorkar, when I say go give an Atiti food, put food, you don't necessarily wait for a human being. Even if an ant takes it, a fly ingests it, that is a form of Atiti. So we should take out food every day and give it to these animals that can't speak for themselves. So when we read about the Bhiksha rounds, Baba's Bhiksha round, then these are some of the things that we can learn from there. To treat an Atiti like God, to feed the animals that cannot speak for themselves, and give any hungry person that comes to your door, whatever food you have, just offer it to him also. Sai Ram.